What were your first impressions of Arne Slot?
I felt he's quite tough.
Tough?
Yeah, he's quite tough. If you want something, he just keep asking you straight away. And it's quite tricky in the beginning, but after that you get used to him and how he talk to you and what he wants from you, then yeah, things become easier.
When you say tough, give me an example of how he was tough with you.
He showed me a few videos of myself in a warm-up, and I think
Videos in the warm-up?
Yeah, in warm-up, I was the first one in warm-up, and usually I always last one, but because I think the players were in the national team and I wasn't, so I came early with the young players, just start the preseason earlier. And I was in the first one, and the way I did a warm-up was like, yeah, quite slow, didn't do much. Then he showed me, look at the second one, what he done after he sees you, just take it easy. Look at the third one. Then it's like, you see the whole line, just walking like me.
Yeah.
Then he said, that's your influence in the team. So if you keep doing that, I didn't, the players doesn't like really to do warm-up. Yeah. So right now I stay in the last one in the warm-up. So.
Just thinking about how sort of the dynamics of a changing room with a new manager, you're such a sort of great player and you're one of the senior players in the dressing room. That would be a big risk for him to show you that you weren't warming up correctly. You could have taken that the wrong way, couldn't you, at the time?
To be fair, we had a few honest conversation between us, and he was very honest, and he told me, look, he showed me a few clips of mine and said, with this move, we can win everything. With this move, we can't win much. So I want to get the best out of you. I want this one to be available the whole season, and I want you to have your best years coming with me. I said, okay, let me know what you want from me, then I will do it, because I'm very professional and I know what can I do. So he didn't challenge me, honestly. I just felt he was very respectful, and I told him that you're a very respectful person. He was very respectful, and he treated me different. So it wasn't really challenging me. It was just showing me what he wanted from me, and he asked me also if you want to add something, and if you want to change something, be open with me. And yeah, that was great.
Did you need that, do you think, at the time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Were you just relaxing a little bit, maybe, or?
Well, I just felt we needed. New manager coming, give you a space, give you that appreciation, and let me talk to him all the time, what I want to improve, what I want a team to do for me, what I want me to do for the team. I think that's what I needed.
Okay. Was he doing that with other players as well?
I don't think all of them. I think some of them, and that's also one of the points. He just showed you that you are different. You are superstar here. Probably that's what I felt I needed in that time. You're a superstar here. You can make it different all the time. I will have to show you that I'm treating you different.
When was the point where you felt this manager's good? He's getting a good reaction out of us all.
I think first a few games in the second half, he always changed what the tactics is.
Made substitutions.
Yeah, and not just that, just the tactic itself. You go to the game and you see some manager this is my style and you have to do the whole game, but he's adapting somehow to how our opponent playing, and just putting Dominic in different position, putting Maka in different position, and he's just he doesn't have that ego that okay, this is my tactics and did it work, it will work second half. No. He can adapt around. And that's in my head, that's very clever, very disciplined.
Watching you this season, obviously you play off the right hand side when Liverpool are in possession, but sometimes when you're out of possession, you'll go a little bit sometimes higher in that channel, and then some of the midfield play will swing behind to sort of maybe you're not chasing back as much maybe as you were used to. Is that fair enough? He's changed your position slightly.
Yeah, he changed it slightly, and I think that helped me during the season. But I started to feel other teams is adapting to that. Okay. So I will talk to him about it also from the next season. Because we win the Premier League and things are very good, so we're just enjoying the last couple of weeks. But teams also adapting to that now, because I can see it in the game and I can feel the players also doubling me all the time and expecting me where I will be.
So I wanted to ask you something. I'm sure you heard it before. When did you start playing football?
I was probably about 4 years old, 3-4 years old.
Yeah.
That's
early.
Just used to go over the park with my family, my brother, my dad. And yeah, just kind of mess about 1v1 with a brother and started from there.
Already 1v1, 4 years old.
Yeah, getting it in early. Dad taught me well.
And were you, I mean, maybe not at 4, but were you the best guys already in and around your neighborhood and amongst your friends?
I think so. When I started getting a bit older and I could see kind of everyone wanted to be on my team, and I was happy with that. I was happy to put the balls in the back of the net, and always competitive. Even when I was a kid, always wanted to win. But yeah, out of my mates, I was probably the best.
No, you had to say that. Of course, you have to say it. Listen, the first time you stepped out at the lane, how did you feel?
Oh, mixed emotions. Obviously, so excited. I was nervous. Yeah, I just wanted to get out there and kind of prove myself. We was playing Hearts in the Europa League. We was already, I think, maybe 3-4-0 up from the first leg. Couldn't wait to kind of showcase myself in front of the fans at home. Yeah, it was a good day.
Listen, I mean, everyone knows now, goal-scoring machine, you're the go-to guy at Spurs and with England. Do you ever kind of feel that pressure at times, especially going to the World Cup? Playing for England it's a hell of a job. I've seen it before, I've heard it so many times, but how do you feel every time that you have to wear that shirt and the expectation?
Yeah, I think there's definitely pressure, but I think that just comes with it. That's natural. That's part of the job. That's part of the game. I worked very hard to get where I am now, and I want to take every opportunity I have. So every time I put on the shirt, I want to prove to everyone that I'm one of the best, and I try and do that day in, day out. And of course, England, there's going to be a lot of pressure on us this World Cup, but there's pressure for every team, every big team that's there. You've got to perform. Obviously, it's going to be my first one, so I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be nerves. It's going to be feeling a bit of pressure, but yeah, I kind of try and take that in my stride.
Did you ever think at one point, I know we talked about the World Cup and the expectation, but did you ever think at one point at the beginning of your career, because you're still young, people forget that, youngish. People forget about that it wasn't going to happen?
Yeah, probably early on. I never thought it wasn't going to happen, but there was times where I thought it was going to be tougher than others. Obviously, people know I went out on loan, and there was good spells, bad spells, and there was times where it was tough because there was times I weren't playing in the Championship. So I was thinking to myself, I'm so far away from the England team. How long is it going to take me to get there? But I always kind of stayed focused. I always believed I could. It was just a matter of working hard, and that's kind of what I did. I kept my head down, didn't complain, worked harder than I ever have done before, and got to where I wanted to be. And now it's about maintaining that and working probably even harder to stay at the top level.
Who was the guy at the time, obviously growing up, that you were looking at? For example, mine was Van Basten. And then arriving in the game, you know, the likes of Romario, George Weah, and Ronaldo, El Fenomeno, Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo. Those are the guys that I used to look and go like, oh, wow, I need to look at this and make it my own thing. Who was your guy?
Oh, good question. Brazilian Ronaldo was one guy. Although our games wasn't that similar, just the way he moved, the way he finished, goals he scored. Yeah, he was great, and obviously loved watching stuff on YouTube and things like that. And yeah, you could just sit there for an hour or so just watching all his best clips. He was a striker that I really just admired, and I think a lot of people did, like you said. He was kind of the first one I looked at and was like, wow, he's a goal scorer. I want to be a goal scorer.
And you say relax. Is that something maybe a couple of years ago when you were in this position? Was it like so intense? Everything like what are they doing? What we doing? They've got to make sure we're ready for everything. Does it feel a bit more relaxed this year?
Yeah, I think we're better. We're probably more well prepared this year. I would say you can just sense the lads' experience, the players that we've brought in the summer. I think you can sense that we know we've got a really good squad. We've got a really good team of players. There's also that hunger now. It's like look, there's still such a long way to go, but I think in football you want to achieve the best things now, and you want to do well in your career. And there's a sense of with this squad what we want to achieve, and we believe we can do it. So it's just we've got to keep going.
I think that makes a bit of sense, because sometimes you can go, well, I don't want to talk about it, we're taking each game as it comes. I tried to do that at Liverpool, I never won the title. Sometimes embracing it and going, you know what, yeah, we can win it, we've got a great squad, why shouldn't we be thinking that? You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think loads of the boys have spoken openly about it before. It's like, you only get one career, why not just give it everything you've got? You know what I mean? We're in this position, it's 18 games to go, let's just keep firing and keep playing well and keep, you know, winning every game we can, because that's all we can do. And one day you'll look back on these times, it sounds cliche, but you will. And
Of course.
you'll look back on them and think, oh, could I have done this different? Could I have done that? And you know, now's the time to give it everything, because like I said, you're never going to get this time back. So
Embrace it and
yeah,
enjoy it.
embrace it.
You're really enjoying your football right now.
Yeah, I'm loving it. Trying to take every game as it comes, but obviously when I'm going on the pitch, I'm full of confidence at the minute, full of energy. You know, when you've just got that, like, spring in your step in football, it's just like where you feel like everything you're doing, you just feel so confident in your game. I think I've got that at the minute. I think after a little bit of a slow start at the start of the season, started to pick up fitness, pick up form, and I've maintained that level, which has been really good for me.
Where's that come from, do you think? What, is that something that you've done yourself? Has that been the manager, or something you looked at, or just trying to improve?
Start of the season, manager pushed me a lot. I think after 2 games, I was in his office, he pulled me in, he weren't happy about a few things.
Like what?
There was a few clips just of things that I weren't doing right, and the things that, like, just things that are basics in terms of like running and tracking your men and with the ball positional wise, that he wasn't too happy with. And like I said, at the start of the season, I realised myself I probably wasn't at my best level. This was 2-3 games in, but obviously you've got a full season to go, so I wasn't too worried, and I knew I'd pick it back up. But after that, the good thing is with this manager, he knows when to put the knife in me a little bit, just to give me a nudge, and he knows that
carrot and the stick.
He knows that will get the best out of me. Because I love to listen, I love to take it all in, and I don't see that as a bad thing that he's told me that. So when he said that to me, I obviously said to myself, right, I do need to up it here. And obviously since then, I've just gone on, and obviously just the games are coming so thick and fast, so I'm just trying to keep playing consistently well.
Well, everyone's always talked about you as a top Premier League player, but now people are talking about you being one of the best midfield players in the world, Ballon d'Or. I know you're smiling, no, but genuinely, these are people. This is what people that understand the game. It's not just making it up. It makes you smile, but I think that's probably because you're so humble about it.
I know. Well, I'm just Dijk from Kingston, innit I?
No.
You know what I mean?
Listen, you're doing L'Oreal adverts now. Don't be giving it like I'm the shy guy. You know, listen,
mate, I am
trying to nick my ads. Be careful, mate. I was in for that one as well.
You know what it is? It's like, they're the right conversations to be in. I think you want to be in them conversations for sure. You see Arsenal fans, I think that they just really appreciate what I'm doing for them in a minute. And it was West Ham fans a few years ago when I was playing for them, they were singing my praises. And like I said, when you're being compared to the best players in the world, obviously it's nice and shows that you are doing something right. Long may that continue. Like I said, you want to be in them conversations, and it shows that you're playing well, and I think that's why you play football. You want to play at the highest level.
Do you feel like you might even go on a run now with grabbing more goals?
Yeah, it's crazy, because obviously I hadn't scored for a while. I'd only had 2 before that in the league, and then obviously another 2 took me to 4. But it gives you that. I can't explain. You must have had it before, where you score and you think, you know what, I might score again in the next game.
You get a feeling. When you're not scoring, you think, where's the next one going to come from?
And I've for the last few days since the 2 goals, I've got that scoring feeling back again. Even in training yesterday, I bagged the cup. I was thinking, I'm going to go on a run here.
Because I've got to be honest, I text you after the free kicks against Real Madrid. I've not seen one since.
Yeah,
I mean, they are.
I don't think we've had one.
But mate, I don't know. I watched those games and thought, because I knew you've always been a great striker. I've seen you play since you were 13, 14 years of age, but that was just amazing. And so you only like scoring goals in 2s, I think. That's the problem, see, Jack.
No, you ain't wrong. Them goals, obviously, I don't think they'll ever be topped in my career.
No, in terms of quality. But the ones at the weekend end up being as important.
For sure. I think the importance of the goals, chipping in, and the value of, not underestimating the value of chipping in, like being a midfielder and scoring 2 is rare, especially in a game like that. We was 1-0 down, Bournemouth, really good side, tough, hard. The manager's amazing, the way they press, the way they run. So to go there and win, after not the best first half performance, but second half much improved, it was massive. And where you can chip in and help the team, I think it's massive.
Exactly.
One thing that you'd know is I'm happiest, when I'm playing and training every day. Obviously, people have what's the word? Is it perception? Yeah, perception of me. But there's nothing more that I love doing than playing football. Do you know what I mean? Whether that's on the training field, I just love like 5-0s, like just playing football.
What is that perception?
I don't know, people go, oh, he likes to go out, he likes to party, he likes to this, which I've said before, do you know, and you would know as well, I do. Do you know what I mean? I'm not going to say that. I want to be able to live my life as well and enjoy myself, but obviously, you know, I think there's a time and a place to do that in my career. Sometimes I'll be honest with you, I probably haven't picked the right times, you know what I mean? Sometimes at City, for example, I didn't help myself at times, I'll openly say that. But then I don't think it was all down to that, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you remember when we had a little sit down?
Yeah, I do. I was telling someone just about that actually. But do you know what I mean? I'm not just saying this because you're here now. I've always says that the way, obviously I was young at the time, you know, and I'd done something then like off the pitch, and you brought me into your office and stuff, and I felt like the way you went about it for me made me, I don't know, it just made me want to give, not that I wouldn't want to give everything for you anyway, but then I think the next game then I scored my first goal, and that's why I come running to you when I scored that time against
Because
Leicester.
I see a lot of myself in you, not so much on the field, but certainly off the field at that age.
Yeah.
And I remember saying to you, there's nothing you've done what I haven't done, so I smell it. And I think I did.
Yeah, no, you did, and I say to everyone, you know, to this day, I think you and maybe one or two of, because obviously I've played under a lot of managers now, for England and for, you know, I had 2 at Notts County, I had loads at Villa, but I think, yeah, yourself and maybe 1 or 2 of us were the best for me personally, you know, to make me want to go and perform and to give me, you know, the platform to go and do that.
This is a maverick at work, in my opinion, because I knew from here, when you shrug him off there, that you're only going to see one man. And I spoke to your dad last night and he said, yes, that was him in the crowd. He's probably not missed a kick of a football from you, even before that date and since, has he?
No, not at all. He comes everywhere. Home, away, comes to every single game, and yeah, I can't really. I remember the goal, but it weren't planned or anything. That it weren't like, oh, Dad, if I score today, I'm gonna come running to you, because that was in December. I think December the 7th. I think it was that goal.
You don't remember it well then?
Yeah. No, like I remember like the goal, and because it was my first ever professional goal, and I hadn't scored for a while, and I'd got a few assists, and I was playing really well there, but I just hadn't scored. But I always knew like where they would sit, you know, like the family and stuff. And I think, yeah, as soon as I scored, I obviously went to him. You know, I think you'd know as well more than anyone how much support I have from my family, my mum and dad especially, and yeah, my dad just comes everywhere. So
everywhere, and he's told me to send you a message. He said because he might listen to you, and the message is, shoot more, and tap-ins at the back post, please.
He loves that one, honestly. Tap-ins at the back. He's never kicked the ball in his life, remember, as well.
He knows the game. Tap-ins.
He thinks he does.
Do you know what it is? You know why? Because he sees other people scoring goals. Everyone judges players now on goals and assists. And I always, when I talk about you, it's not only about your numbers. It's about certainly when I had you at Villa and we were struggling around the bottom of the league, you take the pressure off the defenders, because there's no one, and I'm not saying it because you're here, there's no one better at holding the ball up than you. You don't give the ball away. The only other player I have had was Moussa Dembele. Do you remember him at Tottenham? When I used to give him the ball, like when you had the ball, you could sit down as a manager and you can rest easy, because you know you're either going to get a foul or you're going to take us up the field. Tarky and all your boys there at the back, they must think, wow, getting a little bit of a respite here. But it's only because you're taking them up the field, buying fouls or moving it forward. Is that always been a part of your game, hasn't it?
Yeah, no, it always has. I think nowadays, like you just says, I think I get it why stats are so big, but sometimes I find it so annoying.
Yeah.
Because I just love watching players play, you know. It's like, for example, I watched the Champions League game the other week, and Pedri played for Barcelona.
Against Newcastle. Was unbelievable.
Honestly, I was sitting there watching at home, and I was like, mate, he's a joke. And then 2 days later, I see all the Champions League team of the week. He's not in anything, and I'm like, come on. Like, just because he didn't score or get an assist,
exactly.
But he absolutely ran the game.
Yeah.
Obviously, Rashi was incredible and won the game for them. But I was just like, come on. Like, and that's the way football is nowadays. You know, I think everyone is so. They just love stats.
And that's why your dad's saying that, isn't it? Because
I get
he wants you
it,
to
yeah.
get the headlines.
I get it.
People who know the game know what you give them.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I'm honestly, at times I think I offer so much more than just stats. For example, it's like my first game against Brighton. I actually don't think I got 2 assists, but I've had hundreds of games in my life where I've played much better than that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I got the 2 assists, and that obviously won us the game. We won 2-0, but I've had so many better games, even at Everton now. Against Villa, for example, I didn't get a goal or an assist, but I think I was much better than I was against Brighton.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like I offer a lot, and you know, coming here now, I feel like that is one thing that I can really help. Like you just says, holding the ball up and you know, bringing others into play, and yeah, that's what I'm here to do. And
when we talk about players getting spotted, and we talk about scouts and people who spotted this player. Now, it's easy to spot the best player in a game of football. You don't need to be a great football brain. I think the best skill as a scout is spotting people, maybe like your other players, who you're almost seeing what he could be in the future. Maybe you're not the best player at a younger age. You talk about technically being good, but the strongest ones that dominate, maybe scoring the most goals, but you see something in a player and you think he's got something. He's maybe not standing out here because of his physical attributes, but in the future, when he catches up with anyone, he's going to be a special talent. I think in terms of scouting and looking at players, that's the great art.
So then you got your move to Norwich, but you didn't go straight there. You went back to Coventry, and then there was a loan spell at Aberdeen as well. Was that important in terms of your development?
The loan at Aberdeen, or just the move to Norwich?
The loan at Aberdeen.
Yeah, the loan at Aberdeen was very beneficial. That was my first kind of where I felt like, because you know when you're an academy player, you don't always necessarily feel, even though you're in the first team and I was starting, Tony Mowbray gave me the number 10. I felt like you don't always feel necessarily like a first team player. You almost feel like an academy graduate in a way, no matter how old you get. I've seen it in other cases as well at other clubs. But that was my first time I'd gone into a dressing room as a sign-in, and I felt like, I'd obviously done it at Norwich, but I went straight out on loan to Aberdeen in my first pre-season because we had Houlihan, Pritchard, Naismith, established names at the level that were very good. But yeah, Aberdeen, I went in there with Derek McInnes, and that was the first time I walked in and I was a sign-in and people were judging me off me, and I just felt like I had to prove myself, and yeah, like I only had the first half of the season there, but great memories. It was a great changing room and definitely learnt a lot, and it gained valuable experience to then go back to Norwich and kick on. Yeah.
And we saw that free kick that was actually against Rangers, and this was something that you have become known for. Was it something that you were always good at, that you particularly trained hard for, or just had a natural talent at it?
Oh, I just used to love Becks. I used to honestly love David Beckham. Yeah, I've called him Becks like I know him.
Like Brian?
Sir David.
I'm on nickname terms tonight. No, I used to love David Beckham growing up. So I actually used to like mimic him in the garden and just really try and even like copy his technique to the absolute T. And then as I got older, I kind of made it my own as a way. I still had a certain few aspects that I thought was when I used to copy Beckham. But yeah, kind of just, I wouldn't say mastered it, because you never quite fully master it, but became almost like grew a technique which was repeatable and would get good results. I've scored a lot of free kicks in my career.
Who else do you when you, because I always think a little bit like, say, goal scorers. You know, the top goal scorers are always fighting for the golden boot. Do you look at other free kick takers and think, who's better than me? Who do you see maybe is better than you on the same level?
There's a few
look at that list. Look at that.
Clues there, maybe, James.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that stat. I'm very proud of that one. I put a lot of practice in on the training ground and stuff. Well, to answer your question, in this kind of like, in my kind of era of Premier League, I said earlier, every head must bow. James Ward-Prowse I think he's just he's in kind of a level of his own. The repeatability, the repetition, the numbers, and even when he actually hasn't scored one for a while, he hasn't played as much. But he's brilliant.
You're counting.
Oh no, I just know he's very close to that record. I know he's very close to that record.
Yeah.
Are you confident you're going to get in third position?
4 more.
Yeah. joint third would be 3 more. I would like to back myself and think I've got the ability, and I still want to play for many more years. I've still got so much left in me. I'm so hungry to get back and chase stuff like that. And as long as I can nudge Pedro Porro off free kicks more often, I'm sure I'll be able to get there.
It must feel like so vindicated to make this move. You seem so happy. The club's flourishing, you know, in so many major competitions. Cup final to come the weekend. It couldn't have gone any better, could it?
Yeah, it is very special. It's worked out better than I could have imagined it. So, yeah, massively grateful, massively blessed to be in this type of environment, to be competing for everything. This is like, it's everything. It's where you want to be, and yeah, man, it's a massive privilege.
I remember when you first signed, and you came out the tunnel, and you just stopped. And it was the coolest. I have to admit, I was doing the game Saturday night, and we had the shots of you coming in, and you did probably the coolest ever walkout anyone's ever done. And you just looked up at the crowd. I was like, yeah, that's nice. That was good. But is that when you knew I've arrived? I've made the right decision here?
I'll be honest. Yeah, I think obviously signing, I knew it was going to be top. I knew that this is a club that I want to play for. But yeah, that walkout, that moment, for me, is probably one of the most special moments for me, because I always remember that. I always remember the feeling and the love that I felt in that stadium in that moment. Yeah, man, I knew at that moment it's going to be a special journey with this club for sure.
Yeah, it's nice. And your form, obviously, scored against Crystal Palace, against your old side, and then you get the hat-trick against Tottenham. I mean, they must have been like incredible moments for you as well, because you don't know how things are going to go. Playing against your old club is never easy, and then the hat-trick against the biggest rivals is just, that's iconic status as well.
Yeah, for sure. As I said, it's sort of stuff that you can't dream of. You're not expecting these things to happen, but for sure, every day I'm working, I'm applying myself and doing everything I can to take those opportunities. But when it comes off in such a way, it is special, and you do sort of have to take a moment to realise what's happened. Yeah, just thank God for it, man.
Yeah, and so with any move, there comes difficulties as well, and it feels there was a couple of times after that was such high against Aston Villa. I remember at the back post you got caught with Matty Cash. There was a bit of a moment for you, which every player goes through. Wasn't in the team for a couple of weeks. Did that almost make you stronger, a bit more resolute, and feel, do you know what? Because not everything is an upward curve for players. Yeah. You know, sometimes you do struggle. But right now, I'm just seeing the Eberechi as on fire. But you've had a couple of moments as well. Does that make you even stronger and better for that? All because of that?
100%. I think it's part of the journey. It's part of football. You go through ups and downs. You go through periods of not playing and then playing and not playing so well and playing well. So it's just trying to stay level, stay calm throughout all of it, and also for sure it does make you stronger. It makes you understand the level that you need to be at in order to perform and to be in the team, to be the best you can be. So for me, that was I see it as a beautiful moment in my career. I see that as a beautiful period of learning and understanding myself, understanding my teammates, the team better. I feel like it's something that helped me grow massively. So, and I probably wouldn't be thinking the way I'm thinking now if I hadn't experienced that.
Yeah, because some players can maybe go the other way. Things aren't going for me. That's where you have to just dig in and realise. And then when you come through those moments, and again, it feels like you've been picking on Tottenham a lot this year. But those 2 goals, everything feels it's gone so well. Not just since then, but that has been a really big moment as well, giving you that confidence. Yeah. Because I've watched you for a long time. I've always been a big fan of when you were at Crystal Palace, because I think you're different. You play the game with so much flair, which we don't see. We see a lot of robotic players now. But do you feel that sometimes what makes you is confidence, is belief, and once you get that, then you flourish?
Yeah, I think so. I think the type of player I am, if I have the trust in my own mind of myself, and I also have the trust and confidence that people are looking to me to create and to sort of decide games and change games, it fuels me and gives me more. So definitely something that I enjoy, that type of pressure, that type of responsibility. And yeah, it's sort of, as I said, there's phases in seasons, there's moments, there's ups and downs, but when you're in a good moment, it's definitely good to enjoy it, but also have the perspective of what you're trying to achieve.
You're massively experienced, you've seen everything in the game and you've won everything in the game. What has changed? That's when I've watched Liverpool this season, there are times at the end of a game where maybe you've not got a result, and I've thought, what is it that I'm looking at that's quite different? Because some of the things are the same when you watch the players maybe, and the midfield's quite similar. You and Canate at the back is quite similar. What has changed this season? Why are you more open? Why are you more exposed?
It's you can't put it on one particular point. I think.
Give us all of them.
Yeah, well, I wish, but it's the transition. It's the intensity. It's the decision making. It's obviously sometimes luck that doesn't, because that's part of the game regardless. Like we all know, either go your way or the other way. And I think the 5 games of the season, we have to be on the right side, and then been games after that we not been on the right side. And it's a process that we have to get through, and personally as players, but as a team as well. The demands of the game, like I said already, the intensity.
You said that twice now. What do you mean? Do you mean not being able to live with the intensity of other teams?
It's obviously like playing 3-4 days, every 3-4 days, Champions League football, traveling, obviously physical demands, but also the mental side of it.
But you're used to that. You've won.
Obviously, like I'm not.
Yeah.
It's a game obviously of 11 players on the pitch, but in total like 14, 15 that has to try and win the game. So everyone is dealing with certain things in a certain way. I'm trying to help each and every one of them, us as a team, because I want the best for the club, I want the best for the players, and it's a process that we have to get through, and it's how inconsistent it has been, and it's tough to take. For me personally, it hurts me as well, being on the losing side that I've not been on many times in my Liverpool career, being on the consistent side over all those years, and now obviously being in a position where we are going up and down, having good games, and then dropping down with the level that we are. But that's something we have to take on board and improve and do that together.
Is it fair to say what you're referring to is that the players that have come into the club are getting used to the demands of Liverpool Football Club?
Well, that's definitely a part. But also, I think for the players that have been here, dealing with being the champions is also a big part of.
You think that's an issue?
It's not an issue, but it's something that you have to deal with. It's just a matter of fact. So, the pressure that comes with it. But it's just one of the things that you have to deal with, and it's not as easy as everyone would think it is. So, and I said it before. I think I said it last year in multiple interviews. I think it's very difficult to retain a title, regardless. And we couldn't do it the last time we became champions, and unfortunately we can't do it this year.
So when you was at Howell End, as a young kid, did you ever visualise this? What's happening to you now? Like being like one of the main England players, one of the top Arsenal players, and I'm sure you can go anywhere and people will know you. Did you ever see this?
No, this was like in my wildest dreams, So, as that kid, I just wanted to play for Arsenal and just enjoy it. When I see you guys play, when I was at the Emirates, you get to watch as a kid, you just want to be on that pitch. And then for me, that was enough. So that's more what I was thinking about when I was a kid,
And you've just signed a 5-year contract as well, so you must love the club.
I do love the club, yeah. So just time to win some big things with the club, and starting Sunday, hopefully.
I come through at Howell End like you did. I played like over 400 games. You beat my record last year of consecutive games in the first team.
Did I, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, why'd you break it then? If you didn't care about it, why did you break it? Do you know what I mean? You could have left it. I could have
You've got trophies, man. You've got trophies. That's bigger than the appearances.
Like, this is a Rolls Royce of a football club. I always said, I left here and I went to other clubs, but nothing was like Arsenal. Nothing was like Arsenal. I mean, are you thinking about how many trophies you can win, or are you just thinking, we just want to get one? Or, we're two? Are you thinking quadruple? And I mean that in a positive way. I don't mean that in a flash way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But you and the team have got to this stage now where
you're not far away from winning the Holy Grail, which is the Premier League. You know, it's the hardest trophy in the world. I don't care what anybody says. I remember Liverpool won the Champions League and lost more games than what they did in the Premier League and didn't win the Premier League. So the Premier League is the hardest thing to win.
How many have you won? Two leagues or three?
I won 2. I won the FA Cup, League Cup, and the Cup Winners' Cup. I'm sure you'll beat me. All this year. Just to rub it in, like, you're taking everything. We went to the same school. Same school.
Yeah, same school, same academy.
School, you come away with more stuff than me there. You took my record of most consecutive games and you'll probably beat my medals.
That's the prayer, man. That's the prayer.
You hear people, not me, but you hear people on the outsides, oh, if Arsenal win the league, this ain't going to be right. Don't play the right football. I don't believe it. The 1-0 to the Arsenal song come from our era. And my medal says winner on the back.
Yeah.
You know, do you as players get upset with it? Do you find it disrespectful? Because it's hard to win football matches, whatever way you do it. You know, sometimes it's great and sometimes you have to grind it out. Do you find it, you know, you in the dressing rooms talking and going, did you hear so-and-so on the telly?
No, not at all. I think we've become good at that, blocking outside noise, because the last few years, whether we've won or not, people have had a lot to say, especially about Arsenal and about us and how we play and set pieces, etc. So it's numb to us now. We just want to get the job done, and then people won't really be able to talk all day.
Do you feel there's pressure on you now, though? Because it's got to this late in the season now, it's getting late. Do you think, has it changed? Has the pressure changed from September or October, do you know what I mean, to like the nitty gritty? Do you feel anything different, or the lads very, very like chilled?
No, the lads are chill, but obviously at the same time it's the running, you know. It's the most important part of the season where trophies are won, it's big games and there's more on the line. But yeah, I feel like everyone's dealing with it well. And yeah, we're just going game by game.
But I want to start at the beginning, because I remember you as a young player at West Bromwich Albion. I think, what age were you when you signed for Man City? 14, 15 it feels like? Maybe a bit older.
Yeah, 16. 16, 17.
Talk to me about you as a young player then. What were you, the Morgan Rogers that we see now, as in dribbling, shooting? What were you like as a young player?
Yeah, I'd say that was my identity growing up, was attacker, dribbling, scoring goals, shooting from everywhere. Yeah, like just taking risks and being, that free spirit, trying to dribble past everyone.
Yeah, and did you most of the time?
I tried to, when I was younger. Yeah, everything comes off when you're younger, doesn't it? So, yeah, it wasn't bad.
And obviously because West Brom have had a good academy throughout the years. How did that what happened with that phone call to get them to Man City? Obviously, the club told you, look, Man City want you. Were you straight up for it? Yeah, this is what I want to do? Or did you maybe think, that's a really big step for me at such an early age?
Yeah, I was scared.
Right.
When it came in, I was shocked. It's not really something you speak about when you're that age, about transfers and stuff like that. As a kid, you don't really think about it. I was just worried. I'd never left home before. Everything was just so comfortable, so natural. I've been at the West Brom 10 years, so it's all I ever knew. And I think it was more of a family push to go. Of course, looking back at it, I'm like, it's Man City, the players, the coaching, everything about it. You'd never turn that down. But at the time, I was so worried and scared. But it was like a family push of like, no, Morgan, this is the next step for you. You need this. This will be really good for you. Like, it's that next jump, that next chapter. And yeah, I'm so glad I did.
And you were happy you did? If you had your time again, would you have done it?
Yeah. Although it didn't quite go the way I'd like, and everything happens for a reason, it's something I had to 100% go through to understand, to learn more about myself as a player and to build to be the person I am. Everything's about
the process again.
Learning and getting better and improving and understanding yourself. So it's definitely something I'm glad I did. I took myself out of my comfort zone. And
then so you're obviously in the youth team, under 18s, playing. Then loans came about. Was that something that you felt was right for you at the time? And that loan, it feels like loans are coming back more in fashion now. Max Alain's had a great loan. He went to Watford and he gets back into the Manchester City team. Was that something that you were pushing, or was it something the club felt was the right thing for you at the time?
I think a bit of both. I think probably more me. I think got to a point of playing academy football. You play for so long and you get to a point where you need to experience something different, try something different and kind of kick on. And as I said, them loans, they teach you so much about yourself, not just on the pitch, off the pitch as well, how you deal with
setbacks, how you deal with playing well and in form, and people knowing about you. There's different things that you have to combat when you go out on loan.
Washing your own kit at Lincoln, maybe? Or not?
Well, yeah, it was COVID, so yeah,
right,
going to training, from training, your own kit.
Yeah.
Having to deal with that is another thing.
Because like, no disrespect to Man City, the kit's laid out.
Yeah, it's all lovely. Yeah, you got loads of staff for different things, but yeah, Lincoln's not the same.
But that went well for you.
Unreal. I loved it. My time that I owe a lot to the manager, Michael Appleton. He helped me so much, played me through good, bad, ugly, and that brought my confidence of the young Morgan at West Brom back, and felt like I was finding my feet again and understanding how to be effective in a professional environment, which is a complete different football. It's different football.